mock interview session, which will help you out to like if you are preparing for the CyberArk interview or want to like going forward if you will be appearing for any of the CyberArk interview. So this session will be helping you out, helping you out to prepare for the interview, because I have listed out a few scenario based question also and some different questions also. So this is a series. So I have also uploaded many mock session interview on YouTube, so you can watch those videos. So those videos will also help you out to prepare for the interview. I'm just trying out to like as much the questions I can list on these mock interview session, because in the interview sometimes they ask the question related to some scenario, some operations, and some implementation also. So let me share my screen then and we'll start with the today's session. Let me know once my screen is visible, guys. And also after just asking the question, I'll be explaining these questions also after we finish the this mock interview session. After that, I'll explain every question one by one. So let me know once my screen is visible. Okay, is it visible, guys? Hello.
Yes, Neil.
Okay, so these are few questions, and I was just writing down some questions. Okay, so let's start with the first question only. So anybody knows about the PTA? What is the main log file for the PTA? Like if you want to troubleshoot some issue or want to check for any log, so which log file you will refer?
Sir, is it diamond.log?
Yes, correct. So there is a famous log file, if you will see for the PTA, it's diamond log only. Okay, so next question is, what is the extension of auto IT?
Sir, AU3 something like this is
Yep, it's .au3. Okay, next question is how you can block the user input in the auto IT script. Meanwhile, I'm writing another question. So, how you can block the user input? Let's say you created an auto IT script and you launch that auto IT script, but you want to block the input until your script is executing. Because if you will type in between, your script will fail. So, how you will block the user inputs until your script is executed? They cannot just do anything. How you will- Okay. Anyone? Okay. Moving to next question. Next question is, what's the use of the auto detection?
hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Basically, the workstation and the local laptop privileged account discovery.
Local account. Can you come again? Your voice was little low.
Basically, local laptop or workstation privileged account discovery process.
Okay, for the discovery purposes. That
Automatically detect the account, this type of things.
okay. Yeah, partially correct, but not fully. Okay. Moving to next question. Next question is what is HTML5 gateway? GW stands for gateway. Used for.
To launch sessions to the target server
Okay, so can't we
through
launch
port 40.
session using RDP or anything?
It is
Yeah,
a
we
web
can
view.
launch, but we don't need to open any extra ports if you use HTML gateway except 445.
445 or 443?
443. Sorry.
Okay,
So basically, sir, it is for web view, like website view of a session premises.
okay, okay, okay. So moving to next question. Suppose you build a new DR and you want the replication, obviously you want the replication from production to the DR only. But data is huge, like 1 TB data, and both the data center, your production data center is there in US and your DR is there in different location. So there is a bandwidth issue also, like just transferring 1 TB data, 1000 GB data from one location to another. So it's failing. Like when you run the DR application, it's replicating all the saves, but when it's coming to this PSM recording safe, because as you know, all your video recordings are getting stored on PSM recording safe. So sometime it gets stuck there, and so after that, after some time, it's fail to just replicate the data. So how you will resolve this issue? Because you want this to be done, because you want your, like when your production is down, then you can use your DR as a backup, as a standby server. So how you will resolve this issue? Any idea, guys? Meanwhile, I'm writing one more question. Anyone? I believe you understood the question. Everyone understood the question. So data is getting replicated, like from let's say, let's take an example of you are downloading a movie, 1 GB movie on your mobile phone, but in between, after it's downloading like 100 MB or 200 MB, it's failing. Your download is failing. So in mobile, what could be the issue?
Network issue.
Okay. Anything else?
File size.
Space issue.
Yep. And more?
And
Token expiration.
Not exactly. But here, like, what could be the issue? Like here also, because it's also transferring the data.
I think file format issue, object format issue.
No, because we have simply like how you install in production. Like we have installed the production vault, and now we are installing the DR vault. And now we simply want to replicate the data which is there on the production. We want that data to be there on the DR side. That's it. And same version is there. Like let's say we are using 11.3 on production, so same version is there on the DR side, 11.3. Because I believe, as you everyone knows, everyone is aware of, like if vaults versions are different, you cannot replicate the data. If your production vault is 11.3, same version like your DR also must be on 11.3 only. Otherwise, replication will not happen. But here, replication is running, but after some time, it's failing or it's getting stuck in between. And it's been a day or 2 days, like it's running from, you can say 3 days or more than 3 days. Meanwhile, let me think one more question. Okay, uh, moving to next question. We'll explain after we cover all these questions. Okay, next question is, if a user is having logon permission to CyberArk, like user can log into CyberArk PVW, but he is not able to see any account. So he just create a ticket like I'm not able to see an account. So how you will troubleshoot that? How you will fix this issue?
We have to check whether user is member of respective AD group which is associated with that particular safe.
Okay,
So we have to give the list permission to this user on the
okay,
particular account.
okay. So let's say I'm giving the list permission. So will he able to use that account?
No,
No, sir. No, sir.
In list, what he can do?
Only
he
see
can
the
only
account.
see the list of accounts in that particular safe.
Okay. Let's say I want to give him the use and password retrieve permission. So any idea which permission we should assign to him?
We have to check complete access first permission. We can check that first option access.
Okay. Okay.
Use permission and another is
Retrieve
read
account.
retrieve permission.
Okay. Moving to next question. What's the main log file for the CPM scanner service?
CACPM.log.
No.
CPMs.
Yeah, it's something like that only, but not correct.
CACPM scanner.
Yep. So that's the main main log file for the CPM scanner. Any idea what's the use of CPM scanner service? Because I think in lots of videos I have explained this many times.
This is for account discovery process. CPM scanner.
Yep. Any idea how it is used for running that account discovery? Da.
We have to create onboarding rules and
Okay.
So it is like one user needed to the read permission to this domain. After that,
Okay.
you can discover the accounts
Mhm.
using this involved account.
Okay. Let me write one more question. Let's say your PWA URL certificate is expired. How you will update it? Okay. Any idea on this?
yeah, we have to update in PWA server under IAS manager with new
Okay.
certificate. We have to get the certificate from the trusted vendor.
Okay. And
Yeah, and
how you will get that certificate?
Yeah, first we have to generate a CSR, or if we have already certificate, we can provide that certificate information to the vendor. They will create a new certificate and send it to us,
Okay,
and we can use
and
that certificate.
yep. Yeah, carry on. I was just
Yeah, under IAS manager, we can.
okay. Okay, so after updating the certificate, any specific thing we need to perform?
IIS reset have to do that.
Yep,
Done. IIS reset.
yes. Okay. Next question is how you can change the password of bind account. I believe everyone is aware of what is a bind account and what is used for.
Yes, sir. In two way, like one way is
To integrate
vault.
Active Directory with CyberArk, we use that bind account.
Yep. And any idea how we change? Let's say because on your Active Directory there must be policy like after 90 days or 180 days your password will be expiring. So you need to update the password on both the sides so that your this chain does not break. So any idea how you can change the password of this account?
Sir, in vault internal set there is like one bind user password we can change, and
Okay.
another way in PPW administrative tab, LW user. I think there is the option to change the bind user password.
Okay. So let's say you are changing on the private or client side.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's it.
No, no. In vault internal file we have to change, and maybe this IIS reset.
Actually, this is a domain account, right? We can onboard as a domain account in CyberArk, and we can manage that password, right?
Okay. Let's say you onboarded this bind account to Windows domain platform, correct?
Yes.
And you are rotating the password. So will CyberArk will pick that password for this binding CyberArk and AD?
Sir, it is because synchronizing every time. That's why it will take like.
So it will synchronize
Yes,
because
by using LDAP.
okay. So using LDAP, okay, yeah, that's totally correct because we integrated AD and CyberArk. So using that LDAP protocol only. So just a simple question like you onboarded to Windows domain platform, this account. So you have enabled like password policy after 90 days or something, the password will be rotated by CPM. So does that resolve this issue, like how you can change the password or bind account? Or do you need to do anything else?
Maybe we have to change the parameter inside password periodic something.
No, no, that is already there. Perform periodic change or that's everything is configured. CPM is able to rotate the password. It's working fine. Okay, just think. Let me. I'll also think to make one more question. Meanwhile, uh, okay. Any idea? Should we move to next? Okay. Moving to next question is what are loosely connected device? Meanwhile, I'm writing one more question.
Is that EPM, endpoint privilege manager, loosely connected to devices?
No, no. EPM is an endpoint privilege manager. That's one of the component of CyberArk. Just a question like what are the loosely connected device?
Basically, this is like not secure type of device connection.
No. Okay, I think someone is. Okay, so let's move to next question. So let's say you want to change the password of an account by using the third option. Like if you might have seen when you click on the change button, so there is an option change password in Vault, third option. But when you are entering a password, it's giving an error like and giving some error like something enforced password complexity error something doesn't follow the password complexity version history something. So how you will resolve this issue?
We have to check the complexity requirement for the particular platform and we have to follow them.
Okay, let's say you got the password from AD team and the password complexity is different on the AD team, but you need that password to be entered and you cannot change the password complexity also.
Okay. And we have to request editor tool
You
to
can
use.
generate the password, right? You have option to generate the password then and there itself.
No, no, like password we already have. We just
Yeah,
need to update in CyberArk. That's it.
we have to ask editing to reset the password as per our complexity requirements, and we can update the password in that, and we can initiate the password change by CPM later.
Okay, so let's say if I say this option is not available, they are saying we cannot rotate the password because there is a policy on AD. We cannot change the password more than once in 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay, think about it. Let me think one more question. Meanwhile, mm, okay, someone more.
Minimum years you can change it on the target server, right?
Sorry, come again.
On the target server, in local policy settings
Hmm.
related to the password policies, there you can see the minimum password is.
Yep,
So we can change that minimum password is.
but that is we don't want to change because that will be a global thing, and we are following the domain GPO. So changing on the local group policy will not work. It's there on the domain GPO. So if I'll change for one,
Okay.
so it will be global. It will be for every account. But due to some security reason, I don't want to change. I don't want to make it global.
Okay.
Okay. So think about it. Let me write one more question. Mm,
Is that account is managed by CPM or
mm, you can consider yeah, it's manageable and not also because that is not related to it. We just want to enter the password because we got some password from Active Directory team and they say like please vault this password in CyberArk or store this password in CyberArk and just check the connection for that account. Okay, moving to next question, guys. Let's say you are changing the password of a domain account, and sometime that password is getting changed, but sometime that password is failing, and it's failing with this fail to connect to domain, and fail to connect to that domain, and nothing can be updated on that domain, something error, like just consider it's getting that error, but sometime it's able to change the password of that same account. So any specific reason you can point out why it is sometime it's failing? It's intermittent, sometime it's able to resolve.
The see, we need to do the host entries for, yeah, yeah, we need to do the host entries of all the domain controllers on the CPM server in host file.
CPM is already part of domain, so still is it required to do the host entries?
Mm, okay.
Okay, I'll make it
No.
one more question on this, in which case we do the host. Okay, next question is on the same thing. And first, let's others also, you can just give your inputs.
If server is not part of domain, we have to update the host file with the target server details.
Okay, and why we make the host entries?
Any port problems or services is down.
For this 13,
Then only it can resolve the IP address to. No, no, no. It is for 14.
okay, okay, yep. Now someone was saying something like service is down, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, maybe some services down or ports are not open. Any problem?
Everything is fine, like
That
the
might be also.
because ports are open, everything is working fine.
We have to check only one CPM server is one CPM user is associated with that particular account.
Yeah, same CPM. It's changing the password. When it's changing the password, it's same CPM, and when it's failing, also it's the same CPM.
When DNS is not configured on the target server.
Uh, if I say like that server is also part of
Target server
domain,
itself is the DNS.
yeah,
Actually.
yeah, you can
Mm-hmm.
consider it as
Okay.
a DNS or like it's part of the domain only.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Okay,
that an
so
LDAP integration issue?
no, LDAP integration is generally for your login process, and those for the human identities. Let's say we are the humans, we log into CyberArk using that LDAP method. So that is for only your login purpose. Okay, let's move to next question. In which case we do the host entries for a Windows server? I think uh, anyone already gave this answer, but still, like it was. Can you please just repeat that?
Yeah, if the server is not part of the domain, we have to update the host file.
Okay, and why we do so?
So that it can communicate to the target server using IP address. It can resolve the IP address or host name wise.
Okay, yep. Okay. Next question is when an account is onboarded with the auto detection method, which is one of the CyberArk automating the onboarding process. So how you just configure the offboarding, like how you delete those accounts, how you configure that, because your account onboarding is an automatic process, correct? Your auto detection will onboard the account
Yeah,
automatically. Yep. Yes, please go ahead. Anyone was saying something?
yes, in our detection, in the like LDAP Windows local administrator provisioning.
Mm-hmm. Offboarding. I'm asking about like,
In that one, we can give the base context of the.
yeah, that's fine. Like your onboarding is working fine.
Yeah,
Your auto,
please.
your voice is, I think, breaking
Yeah,
in
I
between.
want to ask one question here. See,
I am asking a
is it
question.
fine now?
Yeah, I'll when I'll explain this, then you can ask the question. Now it's my turn to ask.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. We'll explain like one by one. Every question I'll explain. Yeah, I think that will be for more than enough for today.
Okay.
Yep. Then you can ask this question. Yep. Yes, please.
Yeah. When you after we configure, after we give the base context of the Active Directory, and when you click on
Mm-hmm.
you click on the automatically will be onboarded in PWA, right? So how the platform and safe
I think
details is
you're,
selecting the auto detection.
yeah, I
We
think
have to
you're,
create onboarding rules.
yep, that's correct, Naren.
Yeah, before running auto discovery, we have to create onboarding rules.
Okay. Got it.
For the for this process, there is a, if you will go to your PWA, there is a auto detection. So if you will see there, you need to define everything there, the platform and everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the base context, like which you are saying, the same thing we need to define in that auto detection method. So automatically it will onboard the account to that particular platform and safe only. Okay, and Naren, the
Okay.
rule onboarding rule is for the account discovery, not for auto detection. Okay,
Okay.
yep. Okay, so let's start with the first. Okay, it's fine now. Okay, let me know once my screen is visible, guys. Is it visible to all?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Go
Okay,
on.
okay.
Yes.
So the first question was the like,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you gave the correct answer. So it's diamond log only, which is the, if you are having some any issue with the your PTA, so you can check those logs, because PTA is a Linux based, so you can go to that diamond logs and you can check what's the issue with PTA. Okay. Next question was, what's the extension of AutoIT? So it's .au3. So AutoIT is a scripting language which is used for your PSM connectors, to build the PSM connectors, dispatcher you can say. And for that purpose, your AutoIT is being used, and the extension is .au3. Okay. Next question was how you can block the user input in your AutoIT script. So there is a function we call which is a block user input, and that function must be there in your AutoIT. There is a folder if you when you install the AutoIT on your PSM server. So in AutoIT, let's say you are installing in the C drive. So in C drive, there is a in AutoIT folder, there is a include folder inside that AutoIT installation directory. So there you must have that block user input.au3, and that is specifically for blocking the user input. So blocking the user input means, let's say you created a script to log into your gmail.com. Let's take an example of gmail.com, and you configure it on the pww side. Now you want to connect. So when you just hit the connect button, that user is doing some using mouse or keyboard in between your session when your session is getting launched. So what will happen if you will not use this block user input? So your when you are clicking in between the session, so the your script will not work, because it will enter the value in different field, because you are allowing the user input in between of your script. So that's why your script will not work. So you can use this block user input to block the input till your script is getting executed. So that's the main function for this block user input function, which you can define in your script. And simple ways to define is just use a you need first you need to download a block user input.au3, or I think it's there in the AutoIT installation directory also. If you will go to include folder, so there is a block user input.au3. So you can use that same in your script, and in that AutoIT script there is a function you need to use, which is block user input and this start and close bracket. So, and you need to use that input before your login process. Let's say you are defining a login process, sleep or wind wait active, something like that. So before that you need to use this block user input, so that no one can just provide the input when you are launching your connection. During that AutoIT script is invoked, no one is able to just provide any inputs, because otherwise your script will fail. Okay. Next is your, what's the use of auto detection? So it's the same thing only. Let's say your client says we want to onboard the workstation or laptop or desktop, because on those machines also you have some your administrator accounts are there. So you want, like, whenever new laptop is issued to a new joiner, and when that laptop is coming to specific domain, specific base context we have, or you can say the specific OU, organizational unit. So automatically that administrator account must be onboarded to CyberArk. So that can be achieved using the auto detection method. So when you will log into CyberArk PVWA, so there is a option auto detection. When you will go to the administration tab, then there is a auto detection option is there. So when you will go inside that, so there are different methods you will find, like for the ESXi machine, for VMware, for LDAP related also. So you need to, because we are configuring the Active Directory, because all your laptops and workstations are connected to domain only. So you need to use the LDAP one. So you need to expand that LDEV one, and there you need to provide every information like your base context of that, because every your laptop will be part of domain, and there will be some specific OU, organizational unit. So same information you need to pass in your auto detection, and you need to give your which platform or safe you need to onboard. So what will happen? Your when your auto detection will run, so your CPM is your password manager here will onboard. It will scan and it will run on the specific time. What time you are just providing there? Like it should run on Monday or Tuesday, whatever you can specify, and then it will just onboard those accounts. And if you have configured the event notification engine also, like your SMTP configuration is also done, so after accounts are onboarded, so you will get a mail also, like your account, your few accounts have been onboarded by auto detection method, and it will give like 24 success or one fail. So if it's failing to onboard the account in CyberArk, so it will give in that mail notification, like it failed to onboard this account in CyberArk due to that some reason. So it will, you will get that info. So that is your auto detection. And when you say auto discovery or account discovery, so that's a different feature that is also used to onboard the account, but that is used for scanning your domain. Let's say you want to scan, let's say you want to onboard some account which are there in under google.com. So you can scan that google.com and you can find how many privileged and non-privileged accounts are there. So you can create the account onboarding rules, and as per those rules your accounts can be onboarded in CyberArk. So that's a different feature. So these two features are completely different. Don't get confused in between auto detection and account discovery. Okay, so next question was HTML5 gateway used for. So this was also the correct answer given by, I don't know the name. So this is, and what's the use case? Because PSM is able to connect to a target server, then why we want to use this HTML5 gateway? Because in some of the clients say we don't want to open the RDP port 3389 port. So in that case, you can suggest this HTML5 gateway, and it's a Linux-based device. You need to install on a Linux server. And how it just connect to the target server? So it works on a guacamole. So there is a guacamole. I forgot the complete name. Guacamole. Guacamole. Guacamole feature is there, which converts your HTTPS request to the RDP only at the backend, but it requires only 443 port to connect to your target machine. But in the backend, it just converting the HTTPS to RDP only and just establishing the connection to your target server. If someone asks like why we are using, so this is only the specific reason, because some client says we don't want the port 3389 should be opened, and that port is for your RDP only to be opened from the PSM to the target server. So, so that's why that's the only reason we go for this HTML5 gateway. And if you want to install it, when you just download the PSM,
Need one question.
yep, yes, please.
Yeah, can't we use this for Linux servers? Can't we use this for Linux servers?
Everything you can use for.
Okay, we can initiate sessions on
Yeah, it just
Linux servers as
yeah,
well,
it
right?
just open in a browser only. When you will click on the connect button, a browser will open, and from there it will just establish the
Okay.
connection. That's it. That's the only difference. Yep. Okay. Suppose you build a new DR and want to replicate from prod, and data is approx 1 TB. And when you run the replication, it's failing and sometimes gets stuck in the PSM recording safe. So how we can just fix this issue? So this is related to, because as you know, data is very used. transferring 1 TB data from one server to another server, and both are in different locations. So if you will go to your vault.ini file, I believe everyone have because on every component, your CPM, your PWW, or any component of CyberArk, you will see there is a vault.ini file. Correct. So if you will go on your DR vault, so there also you will see a vault.ini file where you will find the your production vault IP. So at the last, because there are many values which are commented, you will see a hash. So there is a value, a number of files to send, number of chunks to be sent, to be received, something I don't remember the complete name. So you can enable that, and by default it will be something 24. So if you will enable it, so the data which you will receive from production vault to the DR vault, it will be sent in the chunks, not the complete data at once. Because transferring 1 TB data over a network to a different machines, it will consume more bandwidth, and it can take number of days to replicate that data. So that's why if you will just remove that hash value, just open, go for the vault.ini, there will be a file on DR side. So there is a value, number of chunks or number of data to be sent, something, number of chunks received on the DR vault. So just remove that hash value and just restart the DR service again. So it will receive the data, some let's say you are just providing like 100 MB at a once, it will receive. So that will just slowly it will just replicate all the data. So in that way only you can fix this issue. Okay. Okay, so if a user is having logon permission to CyberArk but can't see any account, so how you will fix this? So this was also correct. You just need to give him permission on a safe, like on which safe he want the permission. You can provide him the permission, like list or use list permission, and use permission must be there so that he can just see the account and can just use that account. If he want more permission, like related to password change or related to related to approve someone request, so those permission can also be granted. So that's how you resolve this issue. Okay, what is the main log file for the CPM scanner service? So this was also the correct answer given. So there is a CS CPM scanner logs which you will find in the installation directory of CPM server, and where you will see like when your service is going down, CPM scanner service is going down, or when it's not able to communicate to PVWA, you can check all the logs. And related to your auto discovery logs also, you will find in the CPM scanner log file only, related to your account discovery. If someone is asking, let's say you are running the account discovery, so the logs where you will find, so it will be in same in your CPM scanner log file. Okay. So let's say your PWA URL certificate is expired, how you will update it? So it was also the correct. So first of all, you need to create a CSR. So there are two methods. First is either you can create a CSR. CSR is a certificate signing request, which include your private key and every information related to your server from where you are generating that CSR. And second method is if you're, let's say you are using Microsoft PKI as a certification authority. So there is an option when you will go to the certificate, your Microsoft Management Console, where your all certificates are there. So there is an option, right click and request a new certificate. So when your certification authority is integrated with all your servers in your environment, then automatically your certificate will be issued to your PWA. You just need to go to the certificate template, or sorry, there is a local manage local something computer certificate option is there on your server. So go to that and then just go to personal and right click and request a new certificate, and there it will ask for which template you need to choose from. So there is a web server, because your PWA is hosted on a web server only, on IIS only. So you need to select that template only, web server, and just enroll. So automatically a new certificate will be enrolled on PWA server. Then after that, go to your IIS and just in the bindings, just assign that new certificate. And after assigning that certificate, just reset your IIS. And how to reset the IIS? Just go to your PowerShell or the command prompt, and just there is a command IIS reset, which will just restart your web server services, because your PWA is hosted on the web server, which is the Microsoft feature, and your certificate will be applied. Okay. Next question was how you can change the password of bind account, as bind account is used for your integrating your CyberArk and Active Directory. And changing the password of bind account means, because if let's say the password fails, so your AD users will not be able to log into CyberArk. So when you just do the LDAP integration, all your LDAP integration related configuration file you will find in the Vault internal safe. So let's say you are updating the password. Let's say you updated the password on Active Directory. So same password you need to go to the Vault internal safe, and there you will find the name of the directory. Let's say you have given the name of directory LDAP dir or LDAP directory. So right click there and update the password. So that's only that's one of the way. Second way, you want to automate this password, automating this password. So in that case, what you can do, you can onboard this bind account to a what we say, to a Windows platform, also Windows domain platform, but the password is changed by CyberArk. Same password you need to replicate again to the Vault internal safe, because main password of your bind account will be there in the Vault internal safe, which is referred by CyberArk. So your main configuration file for the LDAP integration is there in the Vault internal safe. When you install the Vault server, there are 3 safes gets created. Vault internal safe is is one of them. Okay. Next question is, what are loosely connected device?
Neil, I have a question here that,
Yeah.
you said that you can update the password directly, right, in Vault internal. You mean to say that LDAP config.xml file, we can find the
No, no,
bind
no, no.
account and there you can
LDAP
update the
not
system?
in the XML file. When you integrate the
Okay.
your CyberArk and AD doing the LDAP integration, so there is a file
Mm-hmm.
get created, a password file gets created in the Vault internal safe. So that file you need to
Yeah.
just uh, right click and just open and change the password. It's not the XML
But
file.
that is encrypted, right? That will be in encrypted format, right?
So how you can decrypt the password? Let's say every password is
Using
encrypted.
private key.
Okay, so
Using private key.
why there is a need of private key? Okay, so let's say you onboarded one account in CyberArk. So
Yeah.
how you can see the password of that account? Let's say you have you have the login access to CyberArk. So how you will see that password? Let's
Yes.
say you want to see that password of that account.
I will click on show and I will see the password.
Okay, so same can be done from private client.
Mm, I haven't tried
Yeah,
it.
it can be done, because
Uh,
you are accessing the vault only. Like from PWA also you are
okay.
accessing the vault, and private client, from private
Yes, yes,
client
yes.
also you are accessing the vault
That is
only.
a command line interface. This is a web
Yeah.
interface. Yes.
So not the command line interface, that is a different thing. Packly is a, So private client is a
Yeah.
thick client, which is
Admin.
yeah, which is used to access your vault only. So when you will go to the vault internal safe, there is a same password objects gets created, which in
Okay. Okay.
PWA
Okay.
where
For bind
yeah,
account.
for let's say you onboarded a Windows test account, let test one account you onboarded in some of the safe. So from PWA, you can
Yeah.
click on show button and you can see the password. So similarly, when you will log into private client, when you will go to the same safe, you can right click and
Okay.
retrieve and open. So you will see the password.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the same thing only, but the way of accessing the vault is different. Either you are going from a thick client and or a web interface. That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is what are loosely connected device? So loosely connected device means so you can see the loosely the this is generally referred to the workstation only because why workstation? Let's say you are working you are using your company's laptop and that laptop is connected to domain only, correct? When you shut down your laptop, so which means your domain cannot just do anything on your laptop because there is no connection in between. You have shut down your laptop and your domain cannot do anything, like let's say if you want to pass some update on from your AD to your laptop, so it cannot communicate because it is shut down. So those are considered as a loosely connected device. The workstation or any server also you can consider, which is sometimes they are part of domain and sometimes they are not part of domain. Like when you shut down those servers, so that server will not be part of domain now because it is shut down and your AD or your domain cannot communicate to those servers. And this is specifically for your company's laptop, your workstation and desktop only, because your Windows server we never shut down because it will always be running because we have some data over there. But your laptop, we are working on our company's laptop. After our shift is over, we just shut down the server. So those are considered as a loosely connected device. Sometimes they are part of the domain, sometimes not part of domain. I believe in managing. If you will go to the platform, you will see there is an option loosely connected device. And we enable, why we enable it? Because CPM can rotate the password. Let's say there is an account on your company's laptop, there is an administrator account, and you shut down the server. So in that case, CPM will not be able to rotate the password because your laptop is shut down. CPM will not be able to communicate to your laptop. So that's why we enable that feature, loosely connected device. So what will happen when your laptop is again up and again it's connected to domain, in that scenario, CPM will come and it will rotate the password. So those are referred as a loosely connected device. Okay. Next question was you want to change the password of any account by using the third option. Like there is a third option, uh, change password in Vault only, but it's failing. It's giving some password complexity error or some like password doesn't meet the password requirement. So how to resolve this? So you, because you want to give your own password, you don't want to follow the password complexity. So when you will edit the platform, there is an option enforce password manual policy something. I forgot the complete name. So when you will go to the platform, edit it, and under I think password change, it will be an option enforce password change, manual change something. So make it disable. By default it will be yes, so make it no and then just apply and okay, then you will be able to update the password, whatever password you want to update. So that's the option you will find in the platform. Okay, moving to next question. Okay, you are changing the password of a domain account and sometimes CPM is able to change the password and sometimes it's not, because sometimes it's able to connect to domain and like it's giving an error like fail to connect to domain due to any reason, and it gives a domain name. Okay. So anyone knows about the writable DC and RODC, read only domain controller? Anyone heard about these terms, domain controllers? RODC and writable DC. Okay. So what happens? So let's say you have onboarded the account with, let's say I'm using SecApps, secapps.com. So this is the domain, my domain. So you have onboarded this. Okay, let me use the complete. You have onboarded the account with this address. Okay, so there might be a chance because this is a main domain, and there might be a chance I am having another host also, another domain controllers, because on domain controller also we will be having some backup also, because having a one DC is not advisable. If our domain controller is down, so everything will be down, because every application, everything is integrated with domain controller. So similarly, I am having some subdomains and all. And out of those domain, it's some are writable DC, some are read-only domain controller. So when I say read-only domain controller, you can see the name, like by name you can just get it read-only. So on the read-only domain controller, you cannot update anything. Let's say you log in to read-only domain controller. You can only read the information. If you will try to change the password or delete a file or rename anything, it will not work, because those domain controllers are only used for reading the information. That's it. And same, your CPM, what CPM is doing, because we have onboarded the secappslearning.com. The account is onboarded with secappslearning.com. So what CPM is doing, it's connecting to secappslearning.com and nearby domain controller. And sometime CPM is connecting to RODC, and when it's connecting to read-only domain controller, it's failed to change the password, because on RODC nothing can be updated. But when it's connecting to the writable DC, writable domain controller, it's able to change the password, because on writable DC you can update anything. So that's the name, like writable. So that's the issue. To fix this issue, what you need to do, what you can do, you can create a DNS. You can ask the respective team to create a DNS. So it could be something like they have created a DNS cyberark dot secappslearning.com, and in that DNS they have only writable DC under that address, under that DNS. They are that DNS is only pointed to the writable DC. So when your CPM will try to communicate to that DNS, so it will be only connected to the writable DC only, because there are no RODC. So that will fix the issue. So that the only issue related to here. And this is only for your domain controllers when you are onboarding the domain accounts, not for the local and all. Okay, moving to next question. In which case we do the host entry? So this was also the correct answer. Like, because you can take the example of Vault server itself. While doing the LDAP integration, we are doing the host entries, because Vault server is a part of the work group and no DNS is installed on the Vault server. So it cannot resolve the address, cannot resolve the FQDN. So we make the host entries so it can just resolve the your FQDN to IP address, because your machine understand the IP address only. It doesn't understand any FQDN or any domain. So that's why we make the host entries, and this is for your Windows. Okay, next question is, when an account is onboarded with the auto detection method, so how you configure the offboarding? Offboarding means how those accounts will be deleted, because in starting we discuss auto detection is for onboarding the accounts automatically. So using the this auto detection, you can onboard the account automatically. But let's say uh, you want, if client is saying we want to automate the offboarding also, because that account is getting removed. So how CyberArk will delete that account? Okay, so in this case we don't need to do anything, because it is designed in such a way. Let's say there are 10 workstation and 10 accounts have been onboarded to CyberArk, and those 10 workstations are decommissioned. So what AD team do, they just put those laptop or some, you will have a OU put into a disabled OU on the Active Directory side. Disabled OU means like there nothing will happen, like disabling an account, disabling a user, so that user cannot log in or something. So same is done by the AD team, because there was a ticket like to decommission those workstation. So what generally AD team do, first they disable it. So when it is disabled on that OU part, so CyberArk will detect it like these accounts have been disabled on OU side. So what automatically CyberArk will delete that account from PWA. You don't need to configure it, it is configured automatically. The only case will be when those accounts are put into the disabled OU or in disabled group, automatically CyberArk will delete those accounts automatically from PWA. So that's your offboarding for auto detection. Okay, so I think these are the few questions. Uh, Anyone have any question? I think it's already more than 1 hour. Anyone is having any question, or we can discuss, or we can wind up this session, guys.
How to onboard non-domain accounts into CyberArk?
You can, there are different platforms. Like if you want to onboard a local Windows account, so there is a different platform, Windows Server local platform. If you want to onboard Unix account, so different platforms are there. So how you are onboarding the domain account, in that way only, you just need to give the address, username, and you need to select in which safe you want to onboard. That's it.
Believe I have one question. If someone says like add a prompt to troubleshoot any issue, just add a prompt and troubleshoot this issue. So then what? I mean, like how?
Prompt
In what cases that this thing can come up?
prompt means like
Do you have
adding
some
in the
prompts?
process and prompt file.
So like in like the issue is coming up related to that, what kind of that thing would be? Because like I heard somewhere in an interview in the past, like the interviewer asked me that, do you know like how to add the prompts? And if the prompt is not working, like how you troubleshoot these things?
Okay, so do you have any idea about the process and prompt?
Yeah. You told in the lectures the process and prompt files for password change
Okay. So
mechanisms.
prompt is generally like there is a file also. If you will go to your installation directory of CPM, there will you will see a prompt file, and this is specifically for your Linux box only. And there you will see different prompts are defined, because your like in your school, if you have heard
Mhm.
about like your machine understands some numbers only. Similarly, Unix understand those prompt only. Like so it will be something dot slash, or you can call it as a symbol. So if that symbol is invoked, so which means you need to pass the password, you need to pass the username. So if those prompts, let's say
Mhm.
when you are changing the password of an account and it gives an error like this prompt is not defined, so you can reach out to the Unix team and they will
Mhm.
just provide you the prompt. Because sometime to provide more security to a Unix server, that is modified by the Unix team. So you can reach out to them and you can ask for the prompt, and you can just update your prompt file.
Okay. Okay, that's symbol in the prompt file.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yes, is there any resources to learn the auto IT scripting things?
Uh, yes, you can. There is a CyberArk document available, so you can just explore it. Start from very basic. Start from like what is a auto IT scripting language. Then start to learn about the commands, the syntax. Go step by step. And on CyberArk PSM server, you will see there is some auto IT scripts available. So you can just edit those and you can explore those. Just start from very basic and you will be able to learn those.
Okay, sir.
Yep. Okay, so thank you guys for joining and have a good day. And I'll be,
I have few question.
yes, sure.
I have one question. Like, yeah, uh, can you tell how we need to navigate to session ID? Suppose when we establish a session, somebody is unable to establish a session to Windows machine.
Mhm.
How we need to identify what went wrong with the help of session ID? What is use? Where
Not
exactly
the session ID, process ID.
we can? Okay, where we can see how?
Check
Suppose if a session is not.
yeah, check on the PSM trace log. You log into PSM server, and every session when you connect to a Windows or Unix or any website, there is a process ID gets generated, and that process ID is used for the monitoring your recording purpose. Then only your PSM just record that session. And let's say when your session is getting disconnected, so you can go to
Okay.
the PSM trace log, and there you will find the that process ID, and you can see the logs. And in the activities tab also you can find like what went wrong, why it's not able to connect to the Windows machine, whether it's related to port or any PSM service is not running, PSM Connect or Admin Connect is not working, or due to CAL license, anything. So you can check the activities tab also. From there also you can just find like what's the root cause.
Okay. There is no session ID. Only we have a process
Yep,
ID.
yep, yep. Session ID is also getting generated, and not in the when you will go. It's a if you will see the trace log. So along with, because it's session ID is along with the process ID only. It's something a big number. But PID, if you will search for the PID in the trace log, so it will be something 3 or 4 digit number like 1023 from something, or 5 digit or 6 digit.
Okay. Okay. And I have one more question. Like,
Yep.
suppose while we are able to establish a session to Windows Server, getting a prompt for password.
Mhm.
At the time, what GPU we need to amend on the environment?
So the GPU name is saved credentials not allowed. So you need to disable that. So because
Okay, saved
yeah,
credentials
something the full I don't remember the
not
full
allowed.
name. So but it's something like saved credentials not allowed. Because we are storing the password in CyberArk and it's picking the password from CyberArk only. If you will enter the manually, if you are entering the password manually, it will just log in you. But it's not allowing the saved credentials. So there is a policy. You can just disable. You can ask the AD team or respective team to disable that.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Maybe just one last question. I was asked this question like if we are making any correction to the target, then how to check via which PSM it's going.
So sometime you will get in the activities tab also. It will give you the ID of PSM from where it went, and you can go to your
Okay.
monitoring tab also, and you can search for that session. Like you can search for that user or address, and there you will get a
Okay.
recording, and there you will get all the information about the PSM, from which PSM it went, and what
Okay.
command it ran, and all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
And I have one more question like if you're trying to reconcile a Unix account and getting an error, so at the time, how we need to identify the error? Like, let me say, what type of logs we need to look, where can we go with pm.log, we can identify, or how it will be?
I would say from activities tab also you can read the log, because if let's say still you are not able to identify from activities tab, then you can enable the debug level and you can just go to your PM error and trace and console log and third party log also, if it's a uh, from platform you have enabled the log, so you can check the log. For the Unix, the issue could be related to, there are some specific issue. For the Unix, it could be related to the ports are not open, or CPM is not able to like communicate to that server, or if your Unix is a part of domain. So in that case, your Windows domain account is failing to connect to it for changing the password or reconciling the password. Or sometimes your Unix server is not accepting some characters, forbidden characters, which are not allowed in the password, but CPM is taking that password. Sometimes it's related to your SSH keys, because when you connect to a Unix server, side by side, CPM just store the SSH keys on the CPM side, on the Windows registry side, which you need to delete. Then only it will generate a new keys. And sometime your process and prompt file, it's having the issue like your prompt is not matching, or that condition is not defined in the process file, and sometime related to that timeout issue you can have. These are some common issues which you will get mainly for the Unix servers.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the best way to check is always check the manual connection. Let's say for PSM error, you can log into the PSM server and check the manual connection. Take a RDP, manual RDP, try the connection. Then you can make out the issue is from your PSM side or it's coming from the target server. Similarly, for CPM also you can connect. You can try to ping that server. Sometimes that address is not reachable.
And what about these third-party logs?
Third party logs means from the platform you can enable the log.
What are those exactly, and why? How we will use
So
these?
let's say you want to see the log for a platform. There is a Unix platform something. You don't want to enable the debug for all the all the platform, because if you will go to the CPM setting, if you will enable the log, it will be enabled globally for all the accounts. So you will see heavy logs on the CPM side, but you want to enable for a single platform. So just go to the platform and there is an option, I think, in the automatic under additional policy setting. Just make a debug yes, so you will get those logs in the third party. So there will be a folder gets created on the CPM with the third party something, so there you will find those logs.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
And also, I have few doubts like onboarding of service accounts and database accounts. What is the main difference
Onboarding the,
onboarding of these database and service accounts?
so database is completely a different like service account, like it could be your Windows base or it could be a local account, or sometimes Unix also. You are running some specific jobs using those accounts. You are running some service, or you are running some script or some jobs on the Unix side. So those are considered as a service account. Database is completely a different. You are connecting to a database. It's a MySQL, Oracle, Toad, or SQL Plus, any type of database.
For database, we need to only the port is additional. No?
It's
We need to consider during onboarding port
yeah.
number.
Onboarding the port number, you need to give the database name also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And for service accounts, how it's like similar way of onboarding.
Yes, yes.
How we are
Yep.
onboarding.
You just need to see that is based on the for Windows or Unix, so you need to choose that platform only. And there are usages provided by CyberArk. So using those usages, you can onboard those accounts. Windows usages.
And near and for Oracle accounts, do we need to install any Oracle client in the CPM server?
Oracle client is installed for rotating the password. If you want to onboard for
Okay.
connecting purpose, you whether it's how you are connecting. Let's say you are using the SQL Management Studio. So CyberArk does provide out
Hmm.
of the box
Toad or
connector, or Toad you are using. CyberArk does provide out of the box connector. For rotating the password, yes, you need to install Oracle client on the CPM side, and you need to give the path.
Yes.
Okay. And guys, I'll try to conduct this on every Friday. Sometime I'm gets busy in some other stuff, so that's why I'm not able to conduct on every Friday. But I'll try to conduct on every Friday. So this will help you out to prepare for the interview.